BlueLock Season 2, Episode 28, The Chameleon. We're trying to find out if Rayo is going to be able to keep up with everybody else. So let's talk about it. All right, welcome back, Variant. So, we're talking about episode 28 of BlueLock. And this one, we're getting into another match. Again, each match has about 6-hour intervals. So, they're going to be blowing through these pretty fast, trying to figure out where they're going to go. Since we have already got A1 and B1 out the way, they immediately went to A2 versus C1. So, looks like we're just going to keep rolling in sequential order of whoever's up for each variation of the team matchups and just roll into it. This one was actually condensed down to one episode. I was expecting a little bit longer, but this wasn't a focus on Nagi. This was a focus on Rayo, it seems like. And that being said, we start off by, of course, they're analyzing their last match with the A1 versus B1, and we see where Isagi has kind of realized what his thing is, and as he's talking with Haori, that's when they come to the realization, like, yeah, you kind of like upgrade your software. Like, you were working on old cell service, and now you're upgraded to 5G. That's kind of the thing that they're talking about. And then kind of mentions the game, the block game that drops down, Tetris type stuff. And sometimes it gets to the point where you can think about it, but it gets to moving too fast where you don't have time to think. You just have to react. And that's a great reference because it's explained about how gamers have a faster reaction time for a lot of this kind of stuff that's within their wheelhouse. So it's like the same thing when it goes this. He's got to have a faster reaction time for everything that he's doing. And it makes sense because when you look at Nagi's always playing video games. That's one of the reasons why his technique is so good. So again, his reaction time is insane for being able to keep up with everything that everybody's doing. So that kind of, pulls that full circle. By the way, they're kind of watching the thing and they end up setting up to watch the next match and stuff as we have A2 versus C1. So this one has Jubei, Ikaguri, and Ishikari paired up with Ren and Ryosei. And then we got Nagi, Rayo ends up on his team, and the other top guy, which is Yuki, Kinyu, so that Gagamaru's there. So like they're setting up to, clash. And basically this match goes pretty quickly throughout the episode, but we see Rayo's kind of evolution as he goes in. He's always been the all-around player, and he's always been capped at, these are what my stats are. I can't do anything more than this. This is what I am. And he's always been handed everything. We kind of go on more to his backstory about how he's always been good at everything he does, but this is the one thing that may be out of reach. And everybody wants to be a striker, and that's kind of their focus, and they're idiots for that's all they're wanting. And eventually he just kind of has that kind of thing as he's going through, he's watching Nagi play, and Nagi comes in with some crazy saves and goals just to kind of take the lead on stuff, because we see Yuki, which is the number 5 player. Again, he's great one-on-one. He's like the emperor. I think they call him the emperor. One-on-one, he is just ridiculous. But, 2-on-1, not as good. But again, Nagi was able to save him and score the goal that he was shooting from like midfield with some crazy trajectory. So again, this is stuff that Rayo is seeing, and is like, how am I supposed to keep up with these guys? Like, what am I supposed to do that's going to keep me going to where I can stay in contention with everybody else? And that's the plus side. He goes through kind of a whole evolution right there. Like, everybody's kind of getting their powers and everything's kind of upgraded as they're going. And he's, again, jack of all trades has always been his thing. He's kind of solidified himself on, is like, I'm not just going to be the jack of all trades. I'm really going to step up, and I'm going to be the master of all. And that was like a big thing because, again, he is ready to, go ham. And Yuki did this amazing shot that I was talking about earlier where he just hit it from midfield. Rayo went and stepped up and did the exact same thing. He copied Yuki's shot. So that's where the Chameleon comes into play. Not only is he good at what he does, just being all arounder, but again, if he's able to copy everybody else's techniques and abilities, so that then he can be a better all arounder at the top, at the top tier. But they always kind of talk about how it's going to be capped out at 99%. It'll never be 100% because it'll never be exactly what everybody else's is because it's a copy. But either way, that's a big deal for him because now he's stepping into his own and he's trying to keep up with Nagi. Now, they eventually lose that match. I think they lose it 5-3. But Nagi is definitely, you can see him. He's shocked. He's definitely seen that Rayo has stepped up and kind of showing Rayo some love. And Rayo's like, "Yeah, I'm you're ahead of me, but I'm working on it. I'll get there. Like, just kind of leave you evil. I'll figure it out." So he's still in his own head a little bit, but again, he's definitely made a jump as far as moving up the chain and trying to keep up with everybody else. So how far is it going to work for him? Who's going to end up going into the finals? Again, it's any man's game at this point. They just got to figure out what their best position is as a role player to be able to get everything done, and who's going to come on top as that lead striker. Now, the interesting thing is at the end of this episode, we actually see Itoshi's brother, Sayatoshi, come in, and he's talking about, like, I don't want to work with this team if they're going to be, we're supposed to play people from BlueLock, and it seems like it's just like a little high school team that I'm working with here. I need something better than this. So that they're like, you can pick any player you want as long as they fit these criteria. And it's like, any player? And he's like, you know what? There's somebody at BlueLock that I want. And then it cuts there. And it's just like, well, who is it? Who do you want from BlueLock? Who are you eyeballing? Is it your brother? I don't think it's his brother. It's somebody else that's got his attention. So is it one of the top 6 that he's trying to poach, and is that going to move somebody else up into those spots and start having to do those multiple matches and stuff? Or is it somebody who was eliminated that they're going to bring back in that he's going to be able to elevate to his level? Like, what's the deal? I don't know, but I'm interested. So again, these little cliffhangers and stuff are really going to set up, and I think with last season being about 24 episodes, this one kind of leaning on the same thing. We're probably gonna linger on a couple matches that are more high profile matches, and then those will probably get the 2 episodes per and stuff, and then some of these quicker matches will be the 1 episode. Again, because Nagi, we already see where he's at, and the whole movie was pretty much about him and his perspective. So I don't think we're probably gonna linger any longer on him than we have to, which I kind of thought to the contrary at first. I thought with the main players being Isagi and kind of Nagi, like they were kind of focused on them. But again, Bachira is still one of my favorites. I'm interested to see him play and see what he can do as far as these stages of matches. And yeah, again, I'm hoping for this U20 movie. So that's all I got for this one. Definitely make sure that you're following, make sure you're subscribed stuff so that we can keep you updated on all this stuff. And wait for next week. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.